First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out to this event. It's obviously my first one, so it was a little bit nerve-wracking, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone has a good experience and overall comes out of it with one, value, but two, a new way of thinking overall. So my presentation, just because you guys are already working with me, you guys already know the strategies, I'm going to be going over more so mindset over a lot of it. So I'm going to be going over the 150K a month workflow, obviously presented by me, but we'll go ahead and get started. So number one, the positions that you're in. Right now, most of you guys are in the hustler position. Some of you guys are operators, making over 10K a month already. And if not, you guys are like right on the edge. So number one, hustler, you're still under 10K a month. This is what we're gonna cover first. So here's what you need to realize. Most of you guys are actually stuck because you feel like there's a lot to do, whether it's like DMs, content, sales, filming, handling your clients, whatever it may be. But in reality, you're stuck because it feels safe. Right? Most of you guys know exactly what it is that you need to do, whether it is DMs, right? Whether it is posting value content or getting a little bit more of your story out there, whether it is posting better quality, whatever it may be, it feels comfortable right now, which is why you guys aren't doing it, right? So if you have 5 hours a day, you have the time to make more than 10K a month. You just need to be willing to do the things that you don't feel like doing, right? All the work that you guys, or all the things that you guys want is behind all the work that you don't want to do. So realistically right now, if you guys do work a job as well, if you're making 5K a month, you can quit your job and go full-time into coaching. So the three things that we always talk about with coaching is just the three skill sets. It's content, sales, and fulfillment. Henry will go a little bit more in depth with content and sales. You guys already know we talk about this all the time in our program. So understanding what works in 2026. I want to talk about what I've seen in the past 2 years with coaching and how the market is shifting now. So obviously last year, everyone was doing talking head iPhones, everyone was posting lifestyle, and everyone was just posting very authentic content. Now, in 2025, that worked, but already in 2026, we're already seeing that a little bit more edited content is working better, and posting that pure value content, the way that everyone was doing it last year, is a little bit different now, right? And I think from, again, doing this for the past 2 years, coaching will change in the sense that people want to see more insights and more connections. Because if you really think about it, no one can really buy into your program if they have uncertainty. So the best way to almost handle that is just show them everything about your program, right? What it looks like to work with your clients, what it looks like to work with you, what it looks like to be a part of a program or community, and show everything so they have nothing to be uncertain about at the end of the day. That's the main thing. Obviously, with value content still being important, top of funnel still being important as well. But again, client check-ins, masterminds, daily workflows of you doing the coaching, those are things that you want to show. Sales, obviously you guys already know, stop trying to sell everyone. Stop trying to sell so hard. If you guys have ever been on a call with me, you guys probably know that I didn't try to sell you super hard. And when you guys sign on with your clients, you guys also don't sell very hard, right? Most of your best guys come to you and just pay with no objections. And if they do, it's probably just a very small one that is very easily handled at the end of the day. So when your marketing is really good, it does all the heavy lifting for you at the end of the day. So if you're, again, scared to sell a $5,000 program, it's really like not that much money at the end of the day, right? $5,000 to change someone's life forever, right? Keep in mind, they're not just getting in shape, they're not just getting abs. They're going to be actually going from depressed, drug addict, completely lost in life to someone who has found themselves happier, healthier, more confident, and again, overall, they will be able to do more things in their life. So us charging $5,000 at the end of the day is not that much money at all, right? And if we still think that $5,000 is a lot of money, well, obviously, no shit, we're not gonna make the sales. Because we can't expect someone to pay something that we wouldn't buy at the end of the day. So obviously on sales calls, just overall, be you. None of you guys are like weird or bad people. All of you guys are good people. So just be you at the end of the day. Hold frame because there's a reason why people are talking to you and hopping on calls with you. And then overall, shift their identity, right? Everybody is going to have objections at the end of the call. Everybody is going to be afraid. Fear is a natural part of sales, right? Nobody can, if they didn't have fear or if they knew what they need to do, they would simply be there already, right? But the fact is, they're not. Why? Because they're just a little bit afraid or they're just not who they need to be yet. So our job isn't to sell anyone. Our job isn't to convince anyone. Our job is to simply show them the new way of thinking, right? How to go from 1.0 version of themselves to 2.0 version of themselves. So pillar number 3, fulfillment. I've seen a lot of coaches this year that were making $1 million a month, $500K a month, $300K a month, $600K a month, fail. Like they went broke. You guys probably know some of the names, I won't name drop, but they went broke. They quit their coaching businesses, all because their fulfillment was trash. They either scaled up way too fast and their fulfillment couldn't keep up, or again, they just didn't care enough about their clients at the end of the day. So if you guys want to make it long-term in coaching, I'm talking about like 3, 5, 10, or even 20 years into coaching, if this fulfillment process or system that you guys have is not actually structured or not delivering consistent results, you will eventually die out in the business, right? Again, I've seen a lot of coaches doing $1 million a month, $500K a month, completely fail and go broke this year with their coaching businesses. But yeah, build real systems and have real accountability, hold your clients to a higher standard, and set the expectations very high for them. So, you guys need to break the limiting belief that you guys need to stop being afraid to help the world, right? You have to understand that people and everybody that is not in shape, everybody that has back pain, everybody that is not confident, everybody who's not strong in their faith, everybody who can't do handstand push-ups, everybody needs you guys, right? You guys can't be a leader on this planet or a leader in the industry if you guys can't be a leader for yourselves, right? There's a reason why every single one of you guys are in this room. There's a reason why every single one of you guys overall are posting on social media, right? It's not just to flex. It's not just to show people that we look good. At the end of the day, we're here, one, here to make money, but two, actually help people, right? There's a deeper meaning to all this. But if we are not confident in ourselves, if we don't think that we can help the world, why are we doing it in the first place? Right? You guys already made that first step of posting. You guys already made that first step of making your first couple sales, either making 10, 20, 30K a month, whatever it may be. So why stop now, right? Why stop when we've only helped 20, 30 people? Why not stop after we've helped 100, right? After your name, is actually remembered. So you need to start working on your business instead of working in it. So you can either row the boat or fix and install the engine, right? If you're under 10K a month, you guys are doing a lot of manual work, like this little Jimmy here, on his boat, rowing every single day. Or you can be the guy who's actually steering the boat. So if you're making under 10K a month, the brutal truth is, right now you don't have the resources to build the engine just yet, but you guys will have to be doing the manual work. But if you're making past 10K a month, it's time to start, again, outsourcing some things. And this is what we're going to talk about now. So if your business can't grow without you, you aren't running an actual business, you're running a glorified side hustle, right? So if you're not making 10K a month, right now you guys are in like the hustle mode, right? Before I was, let's say this, before when I was doing 30K a month as a fitness coach, I was in my DMs all day, every day, right? I was waking up with the crust in my eyes, in my DMs. You can ask Nigel, he knows. I'd be at dinner in my DMs, at the gym in my DMs, waking up in the car in my DMs, all day in my DMs, filming content wherever I might be. Because at the end of the day, you guys right now are in a stage where if you guys outsource, it just wouldn't go well, right? You guys haven't mastered setting, sales, or content. So when you try to give to someone else, it's like the blind leading the blind, right? So yes, it might feel easier to do, but is that gonna make you feel good now and feel good throughout the month and leave you feeling bad at the end of the month? Or would you rather feel bad every single day and a little bit uncomfortable and feel really good at the end, right? So your business doesn't need more effort. What it needs is allocated focus. This is for you guys that are starting to outsource, like you, that have setters, editors. I know none of you guys have closers yet, but 1 to 2 hours a day is on content, 1 to 2 hours a day on editing, 4 to 5 hours of calls, whether it's check-ins mixed with sales calls as well, 3 to 5 hours of appointment setting, and 1 hour on client fulfillment. Actually, if anyone wants to take a picture of this right here, you can. Sweet. All right. So, what's this here? Okay, so going back to what we were talking about before, everything that you guys want to do, or everything that you guys want, is all behind all the work that you don't want to do. So you know that getting behind 150K a month is going to be hard, like actual allocated focus in the right areas. You spend all the time coming up with the perfect script when instead you've, again, just force videos out there. Right? Everybody is very against volume content, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're posting 1 time a day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. If it's shit, it's going to be shit, right? But if you can get good at making good videos fast, Just get more of it out there, right? Two, you know, if you went through 3 to 5 hours of editing, again, it would fucking eat you alive. So, I want you guys, if you went through 3 to 5 hours of setting, hiring and taking the hour out of your day to train up an actual setter who can do it for you, good, right? Learning the skill yourself, you'd be setting in more calls, right? Raise hands, who's booking in like an average of 1 call every other day at least? Okay, and then are they qualified right now?
Some are.
Okay, and then for anyone who's not booking at least 1 call every other day, what's the biggest bottleneck you guys have? Just like volume of leads, or is it conversations being held, or quality of them?
Honestly, volume of leads, and also just getting them to book a call quick instead of like just having a long conversation and not booking anyone.
Okay, yeah. So first thing, like with outbound, if it's outbounds, I would expect it to take like as long as it needs. Right? Like we have guys that like come to us after like a year or 6 months after watching. But even if it's outbound, if you want to get them on calls quick, it's just finding a really fast solution for them, right? For example, most of your guys would want to do calisthenics, so probably learn a handstand push-up. So it's like, just getting them on a call quickly, just show them a handstand push-up, right? Or figuring out what their biggest problem is, whether it's like balance, whether it's maybe their diet, or maybe they want to look better as well. But if you can't identify an actual pain, this is what we were talking about on the group call the other week. Most of you guys are setting, not finding the actual details of their goals. Right? Like they're telling you, I just want to lose weight, and you guys are just saying, okay, next question, right? I can't help, it's like you guys telling me you guys want to make 20K a month, but then like not telling me anything else, like what you guys want to do with 20K, right? Because at the end of the day, if you guys want to make 20K, I mean, everyone wants to make 20K, right? Like why not 30, why not 40, why not 50, why 20, right? When you guys tell me that you guys are struggling with getting to 10K a month, I can't help you unless you tell me what you're struggling with, right? You guys can tell me setting, content, and sales, but at the end of the day, that's still broad, right? When someone tells you they're struggling with their diet, that's still broad. You don't know what they've tried in the past. You don't know how long they've been doing it for. You don't know, again, what their actual meal plan looks like, so you can't place your authority there in the DMs, right? If you don't know the actual details of their goals or of their actual problems, you can't actually offer help, meaning a book call. And then with client fulfillment, as you guys scale up as well, if you guys know that you guys have maybe 5-6 hours a day allocated to your clients, it's a lot of time, and that does get taken up. So you guys probably need to hire some CSMs to help you guys out and buy your time back. So how to get unstuck? Stop asking yourself what you should do next, and instead ask yourself, what should I never do again, right? The saying that I always say is fail fast and learn faster. With everything in life, if you're trying to, again, just make everything so perfect before you execute anything, you're just asking for 1, delayed progress, and 2, delayed data. All right, so it's like trying to build the second floor of a home without building the first floor, right? It just doesn't work like that. So growth isn't about adding more, it's about subtracting what doesn't actually matter. So stop working on your sales skills if you haven't actually pushed consistent amount of content out yet. Stop worrying about sending the perfect outbounds when your page looks like trash, right? Let me call someone out. You guys all have good pages actually, so there's no one to call out. But for example, you guys know the people that will send out 50 outbounds a day and they don't even have a DMCTA, or they don't even have their VSL done yet, or their pin posts aren't optimized, or all their quality looks like it's filmed on a potato, right? At the end of the day, stop trying to fix like Z-level problems when problem B hasn't been solved yet, right? It's like the domino effect. You can have 10 dominoes stacked up, and let's say 3 of them are knocked down. I'll use my fingers here. It's like 10 dominoes stacked up, and it starts here and it's about to fall this way. I've used it before. And let's say these ones are knocked down. If you try to solve this domino right here and pick it back up, there's no reason to, because when the dominoes fall, it doesn't go anywhere because this one's still falling, right? So solve your actual A problems first and let everything else burn, right? If you have sales calls issues, don't worry about that until you fix your content, right? If you have setting issues, don't fix that until you fix your content overall. Good marketing will fix a lot of your problems. All right? I don't take my sales calls, I don't do my setting anymore. I just focus on how can I make my content the best as possible. And that's all I need to focus on now. Because that's the one thing no one can replace. They can replace my sales calls, they can replace my DM setting, they can replace my editing, but they cannot replace me. They cannot replace my energy, they cannot replace my ideas, they cannot replace Josh Chang. And same for you guys, no one can copy you. So stop avoiding the real work. You'll redesign your logo before rewriting your actual offer. You'll tweak your program before your first sales call, right? All you guys want to have the perfect program, but keep in mind, you guys have been in here. Our program has always been evolving. We're always adding people. We're always adding features. We're always doing new things to make sure it's always the best. But again, your programs right now aren't done, but it's okay to sell it early, right? Worst case scenario, you can give someone a small discount before your program is like done, right? But again, over time, your program will still be getting better. You're trying to master the perfect DM script when your content doesn't even convert, right? You guys will talk about how you're sending 100 outbounds a day or doing 50 DMs a day and no one's booking in a call. And when I look at your page, all of it is just you either flexing or all of it is just like very, very, very super detailed value based, right? But nobody actually cares about that because they can just go to another coach, right? They don't want to hop on a call if they can get all the information for free. So fake progress. This is the main thing I was talking about. Most of you guys feel good every single day of the month, and at the end of the month feel like shit. Because every day feels easy, it feels good. But I'd rather have you guys feel like shit every single day and a little bit uncomfortable, but actually feel good at the end of the month, right? So consistently working on the business, but never actually progressing, right? This is like posting content every day, but the content's never actually getting better. This is doing DMs every day, but not actually improving with your DMs. Or this is taking sales calls and having the same exact objections happen over and over and over again, expecting something to change, right? Endless planning and no execution. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna film this, I'm gonna start doing this for my program and never actually getting it done on time. Or rebuilding instead of scaling what already works, right? A lot of you guys already have a proven process. Instead of trying to try something new, just make what you guys are doing better. Good example is content. A lot of you guys will have something pop off on Reels or TikTok, whatever it may be, and then try like a complete new format. When Instagram literally just told you the one thing that works. Brandon, for example, you had one video go crazy. Just do exactly more of that, right? Like Josh, you had video go crazy as well. More of that. Emily, you as well. Double down on that. Kuba, you as well. Actually, no. We're waiting for Kuba's viral video. But you're not stuck, right? You're just repeating the same work over and over again. It feels like shit, right? It genuinely feels like shit if you work. I'll say this, a story real quick. For 9 months, I was stuck between $30,000 to $50,000 per month, and I felt good every single day. I was posting content 3 to 5 times per day. I had a setter that was setting. I was taking sales calls, getting the same objections over and over and over again. But for 9 months, I was stuck at 30 to 50K a month, right? It wasn't until I actually like grabbed my own balls and realized my content was shit. I realized that my setting process was shit. I realized that my sales calls were also shit. I invested into every aspect, content, setting, and sales, right? Because if I feel good every single day, why am I not growing? And if you guys feel good every single day, why are you not growing? Right? It feels comfortable, right? You shouldn't feel like that, especially in this stage where you guys are under 10K a month, right? If I'm more hungry than you at this level, that's a problem, right? So most business owners don't fail because they're lazy. They just fail because they spend months or years busy flying at the wrong altitude, essentially. So you don't need to be needed by everyone. You just build a real business by being replaceable. For example, again, my editing can be replaced. My DMs can be replaced. My sales calls can be replaced. Even my coaching program can be replaced. They don't need me. You guys don't necessarily need me to succeed. For example, we got Jack, right? You can pay rid of Jack. We got Jack, right? Like Denzel's in his program, we took him from 2 to 20K in his first month. He's made over $40,000 since. Same with Brian Ebat, I don't know how to say his last name, right? He dropped to like 2K and then first month made 15K, right? Like you guys don't necessarily need me. You guys just need someone to tell you exactly what to do, right? But same with your business. The business doesn't need you unless it's for the actual content, right? The DMs don't need you. The sales calls don't need you. Your clients don't even need you. You just need to build something where, again, you are replaceable. Because at the end of the day, a real business is something that can be sellable. And if it's built purely around just us, then we can't sell it one day, right? So this is my actual workflow. It varies from time to time, I will say. Yo.
7 a.m. wake up is the most cap.
No, it's not. It's like 7 to like 8. 7 to 8.
6 to 7.
But like 7 a.m. and I will try to wake up at 7 a.m. every single day and get to the gym by 8. Usually around 10 a.m. is when I start calls for the day, and then from 10 to 5 I have calls. So I'll just be stacked up with calls from 10 to 5, and I only take calls on Mondays and Thursdays. So 2 days out of the week I'm taking calls. Every other day I basically have no calls, and I'm just working on the business, not in the business. 6 p.m. eat lunch. That's when I usually get my first meal in. 7 to 9 p.m. I'll usually just chill, and then 9 eat my last meal of the night. So this is my actual workflow. It does vary, again, from time to time. Jack is grinning so hard right now.
The 7 a.m. wake up is getting me because that shit's like 10 to 11 a.m.
Sometimes.
I'd say like he has a good 1 day consistency of 7 a.m. That's his workflow right there. Right there.
The lesson is though, you don't need to wake up extremely early to be successful. You know, like I wake up my 100K month. Like I was waking up at 10 a.m. every day, 11 a.m. every day.
But that's your workflow, right?
This is my workflow, yeah.
Is there another side to it?
But yeah, so that's our presentation here. Any questions about anything?
I have a question. I noticed you said like pretty much content's like the one thing that kind of fixes everything else.
Yeah.
One thing I struggle with is like letting everything else burn, because I feel like when I let that burn, I feel like I'm not doing enough. You know? And what's the mindset shift I need to make of like, it's okay if I'm not in my DMs, if I could just focus on creating good content. Like when I try to edit a YouTube video for 3-4 hours, I feel like I wasted so much time because I could have been in my DMs, I could have been booking calls, I could have been doing all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
You know, how did you get around that, or how should I go about getting around that, letting it burn?
Yeah, the mindset is, for example, like think about one YouTube video. Like if you have one good YouTube video that's actually good, and I don't mean in the sense where it takes 3 to 4 hours of editing, but 3 to 4 hours of like planning, and like maybe even scripting a little bit. Think about how much or how many people that video will be sent to, how many limiting beliefs it'll handle, how many feelings it can cause for people, how many, again, thoughts it can change for people overall. But that one like 20, 30-minute YouTube video can do so much more for you, again, evergreen, like throughout the whole next year or next 2 years versus like 100 DMs, right? So like my thought process, for example, like this entire vlog, right? This entire vlog, I know, the mastermind itself didn't make me any money. I went negative on the trip, right? But I know the experiences, the connections that I show, right? The feelings that I can cause, like that's what makes the money, right? So it's okay for me to not post as much right now when I know what's important right now is this evergreen content, something that I can do right now that'll last me a lot longer. So mindset should be like, one, I wouldn't say editing should take 3 to 4 hours, like mitigate that in itself, but overall, like your mindset needs to shift to, is this piece, or again, low leverage versus high leverage. We had a group call about this like 2 months ago, but is this gonna make me money long term, or is setting 50 DMs today gonna set me up long term, right?
Gotcha, yeah. That makes a lot more sense now, as far as like scaling long term, because again, like this is all like, you know, you have good months, bad months, and especially when you're under 10K, it kind of seems like hopefully this month I bring in, or I can have a record-breaking month. So where like, if I could just, I guess, sacrifice a month and set up all the things that last, it sets me up for not only like one 10K month, but consistent.
Because I wouldn't even say you need a sacrifice right now, because you have like all day, right? So it's like, it's not even sacrifice, because I think 50 DMs takes about maybe 2 hours max, right? Sending 50 fresh outbounds, like 2 hours. And then you have like the whole day to do content, right? But it's just, again, it's like that comfort. I know you work really hard, but it's like allocating focus time to certain things, right? Like, does a video need 3 hours of editing, or does it need 1, right? Can you get an editor for like $20 to edit the YouTube video and then you make revisions, right? And does that 3 hours actually save you time and do 50 more outbounds, right? Or book in 2 more calls, or take, again, 1 more sales call, or 1 more check-in that you can post on your story, or check-in that you can post as a YouTube video, right? That's also evergreen. So like it shouldn't take, you have the whole day to do it, right? This is like allocating focus time, like what needs to be done. I'm surprised none of you guys have posted like check-in calls as YouTube videos yet though.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Too, yeah.
Okay.
That's after I book in the call with like the prospect, I send those 2 videos.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes us a lot of money as well. Like post your check-in calls with your clients, the ones where your clients go like, like that was good. Like, what you want to catch that. Post those on your story, right? Give it to people because it shows people what it's actually like to work with you.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks.
Sweet, sweet. Oh, dang, I keep saying it. Who else got some questions? Go ahead.
Like one of your slides, you said that you said daily motions feel like progress, and you're afraid to be judged on results. Like, how do you get past it? Because I feel like that's a consistent thing that I talk to you about.
Mhm.
Like, obviously, like other people judging you, but also like you judging yourself so harshly that like you can't like get past it. You know?
Yeah. Like, for example, like this month, my goal was to make 300K, right? And I don't think we're gonna hit 300K, but you know, we're gonna hit a record month in itself. And like yesterday, like I'll give you a quick story. Like on the yacht, like I went to the room for a second. I had to like sit there for like 10 minutes, just like in silence. You know, because like one, I set super high expectations for myself, and I feel like I haven't even met them. And again, I'll be hard on myself. You know, I was just like in the room, there's like complete silence. I just like had to like just pause everything, you know? But every single day, this is the main thing. It's like when I was stuck at $30,000 to $50,000 per month, every single day felt good. Like life felt good. I was just posting content. Oh, like make a sale like here and there, like make 30, 50,000, or like make again like 2K PIF or 5K PIF, whatever it may be. And every day felt so comfortable. But at the end of the month, I'd be still like stressed, right? Stressed about like bills, stressed about, you know, like just living, or stressed about like I just didn't even know who I was at that point, right? And like same for you, like every single day you can be doing some DMs and feeling comfortable, posting like the content that makes you feel good at the end of the day. But it's like overall, do you want to feel good every single day and feel really shit at the end of the month, or feel like uncomfortable every day and feel really good at the end? Like, and tying yourself to the result in itself, like again, a lot of people get so stuck up on this number, right? Like I want to make 30,000 a month. I want to make 50,000 a month. I want to make $100,000 a month. But if you put this goal on a pedestal, again, it's like you're pedestalizing it, right? It's like a girl in high school. It's like, or for it's like a guy in high school. Like if you like have this crazy idea of like this super hot girl, like it's like you're almost telling yourself that you can never get her, right? Or you can never get him, right? But if you just think of it as a normal thing, you'll just hit it every single time, or you'll get it every single time. Right? Like you guys pedestalize 10K a month when in reality you guys already know 10K a month is like nothing. You guys already know like the life that you guys want is not 10K a month. The life that you guys want is like 30,000. The life that you guys want is 50,000, right? So like why are we so stuck up on 10K? Why not just think about 50K and land on 30, right? Because overall, like everything that you want, you've made 7K in 2 days before, and it's like that, like a new fear of like almost thinking that you're not worth it is like the silliest thing ever, right? Why are like any of you guys not worthy of like making money online, right? Why are any of you guys not worthy of actually helping people, right? Every single one of you guys have like sick stories to tell, right? You guys have had more struggles than me, right? Came from even a worse place than me, or even in current worse situations than me. But why can you guys not do it, right? You guys have more to share online. You guys have more ways to help than I can. Right? And I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for like 3 years now. Right? You guys have been doing this for like a couple months. All right? You guys are still new, and you guys are learning so much faster and progressing so much faster than I did. Right? It's not that you guys like don't have it in you. You guys all have it in you. It's just finding, we'll go into this now, right? Your actual why. Right? And this might take a lot of time to figure out, and it took me basically 2 years to figure this out. But it's like, why are you actually doing it in the first place? You know, why are you waking up and doing the hard things every day? Why are we waking up and choosing discomfort? Why are we waking up and choosing to put ourselves through stress and hard work and all this doubt and fear 24/7? Right? Because we're not going to do it if we just wake up. We're going to do it if we have an actual reason. Right? I don't care if it's like retiring your family. I don't even care if it's materialistic. But there needs to be something that gets you to wake up in the morning and get after it every day. Because if not, you're going to choose comfort every day. And it's going to lead you to feeling like shit at the end of the month. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was going to say for the people that have like full-time jobs, or people that want to join you that think that's like a limiting belief, how does the workflow change for someone that is working like a 9 to 5?
Yeah, I'll give you guys Jack's workflow because when Jack like first started coaching, he was in college. He was also on the college soccer team, and he was working a job as well. And he was still making $5K a month from coaching at least, which was enough to at least quit his job. So like the workflow is like obviously do school, right? Now think about like the only thing you can do like during work or during school, which is like not outbounds, but like holding your conversations. You can shoot a text here and there, right? You can post videos if you have them ready. All of your filming should be done, like if you guys go to the gym, like filming should be done right after whenever you go to the gym, film in the gym, and then film or edit everything at night. I do all my editing like when I'm laying in bed, right? Edit in bed, send outbounds in bed, send outbounds first thing in the morning. So anything that takes up like an actual chunk of time, get it out the way, and then end the night with it, right? And then posting, holding conversations, you just do that during your busy time, right? Whether it's like school, work, whatever it may be. And then like that gaps that you have is when you just take calls. So everyone's schedule is going to be a little bit different because you guys work different hours, but overall like yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. And then when you're making consistent 5K months, you're saying like
Quit your job, yeah. Emily quit her job before she even made any sales. Biggest risk taker. Biggest risk taker. But it worked out.
7K a week.
Really sweet. I'll say like, for example, Andrew, I'll have Andrew speak for a second. You guys can ask some questions as well. Like before I went to Bali, like I was struggling mentally, I was struggling. My physique was struggling. Business wasn't like struggling, but we were just stuck for so long. And like Andrew's mindset, I will say, is like probably one of the best mindsets that I have around me. There's always like a couple things he said that caused me to like jump up to 100K literally the next month after. Right? One of the things he told me was basically stop treating your business like a side hustle, right? And then start acting like an actual CEO. So I'll have Andrew come up and give his thoughts on mindset real quick. Oh, by the way, Andrew, he's a mentor as well, doing consistent around $150,000 a month. So.
Yo, everyone here should have a phone out taking notes. Like everyone.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Josh. I already met some of you guys, so I'll keep it more casual. But to give you guys context, what I do is UGC, so it's user-generated content. I help mentor people, so it's B2C. And what that entails is getting brand deals without having followers. So I've been doing that, and I spoke to some of you guys about it, but today's February 19th. February 18th of last year is when I got fired from my job. So it's been exactly a year. So to give you guys context, I was working my 9 to 5 while starting my mentorship. First month did 12K, then did 37, then was in the 20 to 30K range, and then jumped from 37 to 113, down to 63K, and then for the past 5 months, I've been over 6 figures with my team. So that's the context, and then the 3 things I want to share with you guys are pretty straightforward, because I can ramble on and on, but I'll just say 3 points, and then you guys can ask as many questions as you want. So the big thing is this idea of being a solopreneur versus a CEO. The main difference is this. You might see like a lot of digital marketing girlies and fitness coaches that are solopreneurs, and they seem to embellish themselves in this idea of the grind, right? It's like, I'm working hard, I'm doing all that. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be a CEO where my business is running without me being there every single second. Mind you, a lot of that work comes on the front end of things, so once you set up your systems and everything like that, you should be looking to become a CEO as soon as possible. The second biggest thing that really helped me to ascend and hit these 6-figure months consistently is just surrounding myself with other people who are doing far better than me. I feel like a broken record because I feel like I repeated this so many times, but I don't think you guys have heard it yet. But I was living in an apartment making about 4K per month after taxes and everything else like that, and my expenses were coming out to about 4K a month. It was a very nice apartment in Houston, and I did that intentionally, even though my mom thought it was a silly decision. Not because she doubted me, but just because you're spending as much as you're making. It's from the outside looking in, it's a pretty dumb decision. The reason I did that though is because my apartment was full with other people that I knew were young, doing what I wanted to be doing, right? A 21-year-old kid making $70,000 a month, a 27-year-old making $100K a month, and I just surrounded myself with those people. One thing that's kind of been shocking to me being on this mastermind and actually being in Bali too is like, no one's asking me questions. And that's not to be like egotistical or anything like that, to be like, oh, I know everything, but like, if I'm around other people that are doing better than me, I'm gonna ask so many questions until I really feel like I've downloaded everything that their mentality has to offer me. I'm gonna take what Josh has, I'm gonna take what Jack has and Cruz has, put it all in the box and take the things that I like the best out of that. That is the number one thing. Everyone asks me, okay, you got so many good questions. It's just because I'm naturally curious. That's not even one of the points of topics I want to talk about, but it's more so this idea of surrounding yourself with winners. I guess it ties with each other, but you know, if you're around people, you should never be scared to ask them questions because people love talking about themselves. If I were to ask you about calisthenics, we'd love to talk about that. If I were to ask someone else about, you know, or Josh about consulting, we'd love to talk about it, or Nigel, right? Or Johnny about the camera. Everyone loves talking about their passion. It is shocking to me, not just in this mastermind, but pretty much in a lot of circles I'm in, that people aren't asking questions. Whether it's ego, whether it's just like nothing's going on in that head of yours. There could be a lot of things, you know? But surround yourself with people that are doing what you want to be doing without being a leech. Meaning, you know, if someone's making $100,000 a month, and I was like my first month in business, so I was making $0 a month, and I was talking to offer owners that are making 70 to 100. I just asked them questions, and I was still a value to them. Bro, I got you. Let me get. I got you for lunch. You know, I can drive to the gym. Simple things like that. You know, the thing that I hate the most is when someone just asks me for value, and there's nothing in return. Right? You can surround yourself with people doing 10x what you're doing, but just don't be a leech and give value. The last thing I'll say is that time flies so fast, and you know, one of my biggest regrets is not executing on my ideas while you were in the moment. You know. I'll make it applicable to the fitness coaches here. Let's say you guys want to do like a rollout for, I don't know, New Year's Eve, and then you just didn't get to it. And you might think in the moment, so what? But years down the line, you're gonna be thinking, damn, I should have just executed that. But now I think that idea is cringy, and I don't want to do that. You never know what these ideas can turn into. So that's my little spiel about my 3 points. Solopreneur versus CEO. Surround yourself with winners without being a leech. And then the third one is just that time flies so fast. So execute on your ideas now before you end up regretting that and just not liking them in the future. So yeah, happy to answer any questions you guys have. Again, I want to be a resource for you guys. So, yeah.
You just give Andrew and Josh.
So you said you were stuck on, like you went to 12K, 37, then between 20 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
What happened from you going 20 to 30 to that 100 and able to sustain that?
Swear, it was just two changes. It was the mentality, because I was at 20, 30K per month, and I thought that was the richest I'll ever be, and I just thought life is so good. And again, I sound like a broken record because I always repeat this story, but I was talking to my friend who's 21, and I was 23 at the time. And I was like, oh, I just made $20,000, and he was like, that shit, don't ever say that again. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you shouldn't set limits. So I was like, okay, what if I did 50K? Why would, no, that's not good. What if I did 100K? No. And I said, what if I made $1 million in a month? And he told me, why would you even set limits then? And to me, just being surrounded by someone like that, where their goals are so high achieving, I didn't even know, like, it sounds silly, but I didn't even know that's possible. I didn't know you could say something like that, right? So, I was stuck at that 20, 30K range because I didn't know that there was a whole nother level to this. It's kind of like going to the gym. Like, they say you get body dysmorphia the day you step into the gym, right? Because you start seeing how many more levels there truly are to this game. The second one was just hiring a setter manager, because not that setting is like beneath me in any way, but if I'm trying to focus on the A+ problem, which is closing and fulfillment, then why am I spending, that quality time on just setting? So I'd rather outsource someone, knock them 5%, and spend more time on the bigger picture. And Josh, not to call you out in any way, but I heard the same thing in the mastermind before. Someone was spending about 3 to 4 hours, Matt Nean?
Mm-hmm.
Spending 3 to 4 hours editing, and his problem was just spending too much time editing versus like A+ problems, right? For me, like I have an amazing editor. He's from Romania, and it's $50 a video. So for $200 for 4 videos a month, I'm sure you can invest that if it saves you 10 to 15 hours.
Well, that's YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, please, bro. Can you put me home with him?
No.
Okay.
No.
So like how?
No, I was kidding. I got you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you have to understand too with long form, like I really felt at the start that. Well, I guess a better question for context would be like, what are you posting right now on YouTube?
Right now I'm posting all my like client interviews of like, you know, I had a client, he wrote like a journal entry of how he sees himself in the mirror now compared to before, like life-changing stuff like that. And I have stuff on like Google Docs, like I have 10 YouTube videos laid out, but what you said pierced me immediately when you said execute immediately, right? That's something I lack on.
Yeah, so like what I would do if I were you, this is like something that someone told me that does, you know, a lot with YouTube consultancy. If you, this is for anyone too, create a video that's really top of funnel, like something like this, like I made $1 million at the age of 20, and I'll show you exactly how. Or something top of funnel, like give me 7 minutes and I can break all your limiting beliefs. And I swear, if someone in this room actually does that video, just sits down and records, that will be so top of funnel that it will get like a bunch of people in the door to actually start watching your other stuff. Because me personally, I just always think from the eyes of a consumer, like, what do I actually care to watch? I'm not gonna like, if I'm going on YouTube, if I'm being so honest, I'm not gonna look up like, let me go watch Josh Ching's last testimony. Like, I'm not gonna do all that, you know? So, what I'm trying to say by that is like, create something that you actually care to watch, so they buy into your personality, and then, you know, trickle down from there. Because the way I see it, it's top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. It's very rare that someone's just gonna go instantly to the bottom of the funnel, right? Does anyone know who like Jamie Robbins is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting him in Bali. Super great guy. And he had a video that I saw that was incredible. I don't know the exact title of it, but it was like
It was like vlog.
making $1 million in a year from like shop or something like that.
Yeah.
But that led me to then see his other content, which is bottom of the funnel. Yeah, ultimately just execute on your ideas. And for me, like, I'm obsessive over what I want. Like, to give you guys a super random example, I was chilling at Josh's place for the Super Bowl, and I wanted this bag of chips. It's like pop chips. I went to 3 different stores to get it, didn't have it, then I Uber Eats it. And the same thing translates to my business. Like, if I want a certain number to happen, it is going to happen. Just because I'm like that obsessed with making it happen. The biggest piece of conventional wisdom that you guys will be given, and this, my mentor told me this and changed my life. I wrote this down. 95% of conventional wisdom is false. And one of the biggest lies that you're told is, you know, don't burn yourself out, you have more time. Well, if I were to believe that, that goes against my last claim that you should execute on your ideas in the moment. So being obsessive actually wins. Being hungry actually wins. If someone tells you otherwise, I don't really know if I would believe them unless they were doing crazy numbers. But I bet you at the start they were obsessive too. Other question?
Yeah, I have a question
Yeah.
on that. So, I mean, for you, like, so 95% of conventional wisdom is false, right? Is there like, what's the other 5% of that?
I think the 5% is real then. But everywhere around you, people are trying to drag you down a second-class street. What does that mean? The habits that you guys invoke, the people that you're around. You know, why at this age are we going over to someone else's house and just playing video games and talking about nothing? To me, I'm like, that is soul crushing because I don't care about that personally. So everywhere around you, whether it's direct or not, it's intentional or unintentional, you are being dragged down the second-class street. You have to recognize that. And when people talk about setting boundaries, that's what they truly mean. In terms of answering your question, 95% of the people that you guys were around are just energy suckers. And when I first heard that, I thought, that's kind of mean, you know? It's kind of mean to say that, because I was with my other friend who's making $100K a month. And I was like, he's like, we like walked into some like, just some lounge. He's like, I don't want to be here. Like, it's take away from my energy. I'm like, well, isn't that kind of mean to say that? He's like, no. I'm like, I guess that's protecting your own energy. So I don't put myself in positions where I feel like it's not going to benefit me, or I feel like it's going to take away from, you know, my peace.
Gotcha, bro. I appreciate that.
For sure.
Sorry,
You're good. You're
to
good.
ask questions.
Yeah.
For you, like, you know, I love this. Like,
Yeah.
money aside, like, this is, I wake up passionate about
Yeah.
it. And like, I'm at the point where like I want to start sacrificing sleep, just because I know I could.
Wait, do you work a job right now?
No, I'm all in on this.
So why do you need to sacrifice sleep?
Well, usually I work like 10 to 12 hours a day, but I'm like, what if I was working 14 to 16?
And not to put it like all on you, but this would really help me if I were in your position. How much are you doing right now per month?
My last month was 8,500,
And then what do you want to be at in a month?
15, 20K.
I genuinely feel like you sacrificing sleep just goes against my first ideal about being like a solopreneur versus CEO. Protect your time, and realistically, like, the best drug in the world, the best like health benefit is sleep. And you as a coach know that, you know?
Yeah,
So I don't see the idea of like, again, it's almost like in high school. I don't know if you guys relate to this, but it's like, bro, I stayed up till like 4 a.m. yesterday, you know? It's like, I don't know why we're programmed to want to brag about how late we stayed up or how much work we're putting in. I want to work the least and make the most amount of money. So protect your sleep. If you can't get it done in, you know, let's say 10 to 12 hours, I just don't think you're efficient enough.
Yeah, valid. Thank you.
Yeah, I got a question. For kind of both of you guys, honestly. So I'm at a place where this month we're on track to make 50K. But like I got the crib and I'm in a spot where I feel like I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what was like that switch? I shouldn't even say switch, but what do you feel like was it that really pushed you from like 50K to like actually 6 figures plus per month?
Yeah, for me, because I was stuck around like 30 to 50 for a while, like that 9 months. And like, because I can see like, if you got the car, you got the crib, like it feels really comfortable. Oh, I'm in the wind. But for me, the main thing was like financial struggle. Like making a bunch and then spending a bunch. Or like team payouts, expenses, like everything just adding up. I was making like 30K a month, spending like 30K a month. You know, and it was like getting tough. And it was just like, there was one time, like the thing that woke me up, it was truly finding your why. Because I remember when I was in Bali, I tell this story a lot, it's like, we were driving one night in an Uber and I just saw a family of like 5 or 6, like eating on a bucket, like on buckets, and like they seemed so happy. So like I remember when I saw that, I was just like, okay, like I just have to stop thinking about like just like money itself. So I like detached myself from like the money itself, and I just like started like finding out why I actually want to do all this and like why I was even here, right? And I think for me, it led me to figuring out like, one, you'll see in September my content shifted a lot. Like I just stopped posting value whatsoever, and I just went straight to just like, what do I feel, you know? And like, how can I give a feeling to people all the time? And because that feeling is like all I've ever wanted, and I just shared that constantly. But for you, I'd say it's like finding your actual why, you know, like why do you want to keep going, you know, and why do you want to like get to 100, and why not just stay at 50, you know?
For me, I was stuck at 20 to 30 for a couple months, like I was saying. And I remember getting on calls with people, and for some reason I kept asking, like, do you think I could hit 100? Do you think I can do that?
Yeah.
And I was asking for permission to be successful. But imagine if, like, you asked me right now, and I'm like, no, you can't hit 100. Like, would you stop hitting it then? You know, so for me, like, what really got me to that next level is, one, stop asking for permission to be successful. And two, just, like, being hyper-competitive. I won't lie, like, right now, it's been exactly a year since where I was in before. Was driving a Tesla, was working corporate, had no time to focus on my health, in a better car, in a better apartment now. I don't see my kitchen from my bed. It's separate now. And I'm around great people and I'm focusing on my health. I can't lie though. I feel that my why has shifted. And I think, I know at the start, if your goal is to make money and you want to break out of a place where you feel financially restricted, that is a great why at the start. But after you do so and you have some sort of security, you need to find a deeper why. And I don't have all the answers because I'm still trying to find that right now. But I just think through the lens of like, okay, if money did not exist, what would I feel happy doing? And to me, it's helping others shine through content, because there's so many people that want to, be an influencer or make money on that. So, yeah, just to be honest, I don't have a clear why right now, but just like you, bro, I'm like trying to figure it out, so we can figure it out together, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another question, I know we're speaking about there's some things that I see my own personal story and how you started off, and I think what you say, like when you say like, okay, I want to be able to systemize myself and be the CEO in my own business. So the high leverage stuff, that's what I take care of, and the low leverage stuff, that's what I give to somebody else. I know you also had another thing where you say that the biggest lies that is not to burn yourself out. That means your hunger is on another level beyond like your competition, and that's where you keep pushing yourself. My question is, how do you actually find that balance of like really pushing yourself and being hungry every single day and really doing what you want, and also not going like, okay, it's 3 a.m. but I still feel like I can still do more today.
I feel like there was 1 month where when I hit my first 100K that I was waking up at 8 a.m. to like 1 a.m. and I remember so vividly staring at my computer screen, and I was like, okay, if I make $29,000 more, I can do anything. In the future, I can do anything this life throws at me, because I was at 71,000. And we did, that was the last 8 days of the month where we did about 63,000 the last 8 days. But like that's a period of time when I went really hard, right? But I feel like if you could do one thing one time, then you recognize that it is possible, and then you can start to systemize it more. But yeah, like I just think at the start, like a lot of people, I'm like, what are you actually working on? Just to be a bit more like of a blunt version of myself. Oh, like let's get some inputs in. What does that even mean? Like, what are you even working on? If I'm being so real, I don't want people in the info space to say that. Like let's get inputs in, or like it's like you're bragging about working hard. I would love to brag about working very little and maximizing my life to make the most amount of money. And one thing I still don't understand, and maybe like at most I would say like one person takes this away, is like when I was around my friends in Houston, we'd be sitting at lunch and they'd be like, let's go, I just made 4K, 5K piff, 15K piff. And I'd be sitting there thinking like, what the heck, how do I do that? I'm working for $15, you just made $15,000. I'm working for $50 an hour, and you just made 15K at lunch. So to me, it's just like, I don't know, it's just absurd that people don't ask enough questions, bro. Even at the mastermind in Bali,
Yeah.
we and I were doing the most, and we got like maybe one question. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think if you have like curiosity overall, it's like there's no reason not to ask. It's like you have to think about how many people would be dying to be like in your position, whether that's like not even working a job right now where you can do coaching full time, or let alone even be like in Miami or like be in the U.S.
Yeah.
Right, like living in the U.S.
Bro, some of the guys that went to Bali, I'm like, why'd you come all the way here just to go on an ATV? Like that was your sole purpose of this trip. It's like to go on an ATV and like, And for me, I don't know if it's ego. I don't know what like. I will never be afraid to look stupid look stupid and be like, yo, I love your content, I love your work. Why am I asking you guys more questions? Is what I was thinking in Bali.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So.
Cause like in Bali, like Andrew was like the besides like my mentor, like Andrew was the only one doing more than me, and I asked Andrew a fuck ton of questions, right? And I got a fuck ton of answers, and I got a lot of things that helped me out. And literally the next month after I hit 100K, literally like 3.5x my business, right?
I just don't understand. But yeah, bro. That being said, any questions?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know one of your points was like surrounding yourself with people, and this is like something new for me. It's like the first time I surround myself with people making my own money. And back in my hometown, Rhode Island, there's no one.
Yeah.
No one at all. What do you think I should do?
I think that's a limiting belief. But even at the gym today, like you went to Omega, right? Bro, there was someone doing what you want to be doing that's making like 100x like what everyone else is right now. Like I'll never be afraid to go up to someone and be like, yo, I've seen your videos, I love your content. And just like, I don't know, like dropping a nice compliment. That video with, you know, you getting that new dog was awesome. And just ask some questions right there, you know? But in terms of surrounding yourself with winners, I don't know, if it means like taking a trip elsewhere, then do it. But like, you're here right now, aren't you? Like at the gym, you know, you could be asking questions and you could be, you know, networking harder, but I don't know. It just feels like whenever someone walks into the room and I want to speak to that person, I will get one-on-one time with that person. Because it's just like, that's the energy that I want to, that I have. So I don't know how to explain it, because it could just be like a personality trait of mine that I'm more curious than the average person. And that's not to be like egotistical in any way, but I guess what I would say to you then is like, if it is reality that there's no one in Rhode Island that's a quote unquote winner doing what you want to be doing, then if it really comes down to it, then you have social media. Like you're one DM away from asking someone, right? And what I did actually I remember this very clearly. Like I was in a program with Josh, and I wanted to speak to Josh. So I got on a group call, and like Josh didn't realize the group call ended. And I was like, yo, Josh. He's like, huh? And so I just asked him for like 20 minutes questions. And I went to everyone in the top students in the program and just asked them questions. So what's the best alternative to trying to find winners in person physically? It's just virtually, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't know why more people don't just go to what's working and ask people that are already doing it how to do it and reverse engineer it. Because people love talking about themselves. Like, as you can see, I love talking about my story because I know it could be of value to the next person.
This sounds crazy, but my whole entire senior year of college, I would not go out at all. I was spending the whole time driving 4 hours to Miami just to be surrounded by Josh, Cruz, and everyone. Every weekend, literally driving 4 hours. And I was like, if it's not 10 minutes away, I'll drive an hour away because I know I can get this much value and I can make this much of myself, you know? So it's like, the people are there, you just haven't done enough to try and find them, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a limiting belief, whether that's virtually, whether that's in person, you know? So that was my ideology going into it until I supported myself enough where I was like, okay, I'm just fucking going to Miami. And I was like, moved in with Josh, stayed in Airbnbs, kept grinding until it was just like, it happened. Just because I was in that circle, you know?
Yeah.
So I made it work. It wasn't like it came to me. I think it's you more going to that, you know?
Yeah.
And then everything was possible. You know, it's like, then you get to the law and attack yourself from the result all the time. Focusing on the daily inputs that you can put in every single day. Because if you're so focused on the result, you're never going to get there. Because you're forgetting the small things that you need to do daily in order to actually get your goals, you know? So, that's my impression.
I mean, I literally moved to the same apartment as Jack and Josh. Because my big thing for 2026 is like, I want to focus on my physique and my health. So like, I'm going to put myself around the best people. Like, I'm working out with Josh and Jack. Well, every morning. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, if I wanted to become really good at dancing, I'll just surround myself with dancers. I don't know. It's just like, does that not make the most sense to me? I feel like most people don't think like that. Before I handle any more like last questions, the one thing I want to say is this too. God will take away what He's given you just as quickly. And this is a real note, because we are so blessed to be here, and in an alternate reality, we are sitting in an office shop right now. And the question you just asked me was like, it wasn't, the question would be in an alternate reality, like, bro, when is the project due? That's the question you've been asking, bro. But we are so blessed to be here right now. And remember, God will take away what He's given you just as quickly. So do not linger on these ideas and don't fall into this trap of conventional wisdom. You have more time, you have more time, you have more time, you have more time. The person telling you that is not where you want to be like 95% of the time. That's where I got that number. So just think through that lens. God will take away what He's given you just as fast if you don't capitalize on it. So, yeah. But any last questions I can answer for you guys?
I have another question.
For sure, bro.
I know you said you put yourself in a position where you're paying 4K for rent and you're making 40K.
Yeah.
How is your mindset? Because I know we're doing this to serve people,
Yeah.
help people, but at the end of the day, we're doing this to make money as well.
Yeah.
To live.
And you do fitness coaching? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how much do you charge?
5K.
For 3 months? Per year?
Yeah.
I would increase the prices to at least 6, first of all, and then, but the thing is this, if you're gonna, like Josh just said it, he just said in this thing, it's like, if you're gonna change someone's life for $5,000 a month, like, why, or sorry, like just one time, why are you thinking that you're taking advantage of me? And I tell my closers this all the time. When you hop on a call, have a bit of ego to you. You think you're hopping on, like, talking to a closer, like, you think you're hopping on the call and you owe them something? No, we have the keys to change someone's life in terms of financial freedom. I have students making $20K a month from their phones, and they're not even business owners. We have the keys to help someone change their life, leave their 9 to 5, and to help so many students. So you have to switch that authority, because you coming into a call thinking, I owe this person something, let me give them a discount, that's what that falls into. They should be hopping on a call, and you should have a bit of ego to you to think, okay, you know, like, I have the resources and the keys, you're getting a bargain of a discount. You're getting a bargain of a discount. Because yeah, if someone could change their life for $5,000, it's gonna be $6,000 now, then, and if they can't recognize that, if you communicate that well, that's on them. And that's what you should be thinking. And the same Andrew that's saying this right now would have said that when I was making far less money too.
My question was like, if you were in a position where it's like you have to make more money to like pay rent and live the life you want to live, how do you like? How can I say this? It's just like
Not focus on the money.
you need to like pay rent. You're so focused on that.
Yeah.
How can you like kind of put that away and have the mindset where you're like, I'm certain these people.
It's like asking.
I don't need to make.
He's like asking how to get out of the feast or famine mentality. Like
For what?
The feast or famine, like he has to kill to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, are those two things like mutually exclusive? Like serving people and making money? You have this predicament where you're like, I want to make money, but I also want to serve other people, correct?
Well, like I need to do that. I need to make money.
You need to make money, and you're serving other people.
Right.
Is your vehicle. But the way you asked me that question almost seems like you think they're mutually exclusive. You're making money by helping people, correct? So like, what's the real question then? It's like, do you feel like a bit bad charging people that much?
I guess in a way. It's just like I know we're told to detach from the sale, if that makes sense.
I mean, here's like one thing I actually say on the cause. So my price is $4,000. I'll say, let's say her name's like Jane. Jane, I'll be honest with you. You know, we've given you every single resource. We told you exactly how to get from $0 to $10,000 a month. And how old are you, by the way? No, I'm 23. Okay, so in 30 years, when you're 53 years old, are you going to be sitting there thinking, yes, you know, Andrew didn't screw me over, and I'd have to pay him $4,000? Or are you going to be saying, I'm so glad I learned a high 6-figure income skill, and now I can use that to travel the world, have location freedom and financial freedom? So you need to put that same formula into you as a fitness coach, right? How old are you right now? You're 20? So perfect. So if I were selling you as and you were like a fitness client, I would tell you, okay, and remember your name one more time? Josh. So Josh, in 30 plus years, when you're 50 years old, are you going to be sitting there thinking, yes, Andrew didn't screw me over for $5,000? You're going to be thinking, okay, I'm so glad I'm genetically gifted, my children are genetically gifted, and you know I have a top 1% physique, you know? Because to me, like people say detach from the money, and I'm like, what does that even mean? And that's what I mean by conventional wisdom. What does that even mean? What does that mean, detach from the money? Well, I need to make money to live. So you want me to say that the one thing I really need the most, detach from that? I don't understand that, you know? I need to get to the money. So for me, I would say, don't think of helping other people and making money as two different things. The more people you help, the more money you're gonna make. So view it that way. They work in tandem with each other. If you cannot help people, you cannot make money, at least in this industry. That's the fun.
It's an agreeable thing as well, Josh. Like, if you... Detaching from money isn't, like, they're not separate things. Like, helping people, as a consequence, money is made. It's like, you don't make money first, or, like, one doesn't happen without the other. Like, they're tied to each other, like, it's not going to be something where, oh, I help this person, but I don't make money. You make money as a result of helping. That's why when I say detach from the outcome, it doesn't mean you just focus on helping people and that you don't make money. It's like the whole point is like because you're so focused on helping people, money is purely just a consequence and effect of nature.
The one thing I say about that is like the biggest info product in the world is universities. Do you think a university feels bad charging you $80,000 a year? Bro, money has no emotion. So why are you giving emotion to it? Oh my gosh, I feel so bad at charging $5,000. Then you might as well give it to me for free. If you want to be such a good, a public, servant, and not just you
No,
specifically.
I like that.
But like, forgive me because this is my super blunt side, and I haven't thought about this out for like a couple months now. But like, if I'm just being honest, I'm just like, but yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I used to charge $47 a month for my product, and I was like, my friend was like, charge $4,000, and I was fighting him, a person who's trying to make me more money, to oppose him to say, no, I shouldn't be charging $4,000. It's not because it wasn't worth $4,000, it's because I was scared. I was truly scared. Oh, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But Josh dreams big, and now he thinks, okay, I'm charging $10,000. I should be charging $15,000, and then now $20,000. And Henry was able to, sell it at that price. So I don't know. For me, it's like if it's money that you want, and other people charge money to get amazing results, then how are you any you're not different by doing the same thing. And why do you view a Coach bag as a decent bag versus a Hermes Birkin bag at $30,000, $70,000, right? It's the price that's attached to it, and naturally you revere it in a different way.
So you said you charge 4,000.
Yeah.
Is that like lifetime or like a year?
It's 3 months, and honestly, I should be charging 4.8 thousand. So I'm kind of going against my own word and saying I should be charging more. And we just sold one for 4.8. Started doing that the other day. But yeah, it's for 3 months. And the way that I pitch that is, we're not going to kick you out after 3 months. As long as you're an asset to the community and you're giving us good testimonies and results, I want to work with you for forever. And that's a way to protect myself, because you should never be giving lifetime access. Any product, I can't think of a product where you would give lifetime access, because it cancels out this idea of upselling to your own community. And your warmest leads is someone that you've already helped. For the rest of my life, I'll be able to sell to my current students right now. And I'm doing UGC right now. Trust me, if I just did a life coaching offer, people would buy that right now. Because I've already helped them with one field, and they trust me now.
But why don't you charge more for more time, or how Josh has?
Yeah, I mean, I offer I extend it. Well, for me, I'm B2C, so I'm not speaking to business owners like Josh is. But just the other day, someone was like, hey, I want to just learn from you directly, so I just charged him $8K. But I think $4K is a fair price point for the B2C right now, and then I've also started an agency, and everyone's always said take a cut from your creators' deals. I didn't want that, so 4K is very fair to me.
I got a thing, couple questions. One, how did you leverage your network when you first came into the space? When you first started out, how were you able to do that from the city that you were in?
Yeah, it's funny because how many people think of Houston as an info city, right? So I could say the same thing about Rhode Island, and that's not to target you, Josh, at all. It's just kind of give an example. If I went into there with that mentality, I would have never met those friends. But here's exactly what happened. I was working out in the gym, and do you guys know who Swolium is?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was at my apartment. He lives there.
Sure.
And he was talking with a friend named Kevin Soto. He said the word TikTok. Johnny's from Houston too, and we're all friends now. But he said the word TikTok, and I was just like, hey, I'm sorry. Did you mention you guys are influencers? Oh no, we actually do something called high ticket sales. So that's how I found my circle. And in terms of leveraging my circle, I mean I just became of genuine value, and I became a friend to them, And the thing is, it's very easy to see when someone's being a leech, but if someone is trying to provide value, make your life easier, and let's say they're not on the same financial level yet, then I respect that far more than someone that is just asking me, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Because I'm I'll help you once or twice, but I don't work for you.
Yeah.
I don't work for you. So. Yeah.
And when it comes to, now more business related, say if you sell for 4K and you did 150K a month, but did that mean that you did about 40 book calls in a month? How do you actually optimize that?
So yeah, so the way I write this down too, this is really important to think about. Calls booked, and I saw this from a video with Ryan Claude. Calls booked, show rate, close rate, and then live calls, essentially, right? In whatever order I guess you want to do. But calls booked, live calls, like calls you actually took, close rate and show rate. Work backwards from that, and you can use your AOV, or you can just use like what your ticket price is. If you want to make $20,000 a month, work backwards from that. And so you got to figure out how many calls you want to book.
You already do that actually.
Yeah.
So is that how you did that with your team then? So like when you goal set at the start of the month, is that something that what you did?
Yeah. And I feel like I know my I know my offer to the highest extent, that I know exactly where we're gonna fall each month. So when I've said we're gonna fall at 151 or 131, we hit exactly that number. You as the offer owner should know where exactly you guys are gonna fall every single month.
Yeah, this is something that I do now. It's just like finding out your goal and then like how do you actually get there and you work back around it. Then you see like, okay, how many book calls do I need by the end of the month, this and that, and then how many are supposed to be qualified, and what's my AOV that I should be aiming for.
Yeah, your close rate is like, wait, that's for Henry's the closer?
That was last month.
Yeah, so you have a top tier closer.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your show rate's high too.
Yeah.
Sweet. Dang. Sweet, yeah. But other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I gotta jump on a call here in a second. But we can take like a 10-15 minute break, and then right after Henry's gonna present, he has a presentation for you guys as well. But go ahead, feel free, 10-15 minute break.